So when I was growing up, I had a pet name. I had a pet name. Not only did I have a pet name, but even the way they would pronounce that name at the time was in a way that it would make me feel very small. So it was a pet name that was used to describe somebody that was tall. Okay, tall. Not that I'm the tallest man on the planet, but some people think because I was tall and they had to create a pet name for me. If you're a chosen one, you've had a pet name. There was a name. There was a name. Something. Somebody used the name for you. Now, people don't call you those names because they have eventually forgotten your real name. They know what your real name is. But calling you by your real name, it feels like adding a lot of respect to you, to yourself. So they don't feel that you deserve that respect. So they are going to find a name. And there's a reason for that. Now, in the Bible times, Jesus had some names. They used to have some names. Some people used to say he's a witch. Those Pharisees. Me, when I talk about those Pharisees, I'm just trying to understand that those was the narcissists at the time. The people who crucified Jesus, those was people was narcissists. Because if they are saying the story of Jesus is as it was, as they said it was, then there was no genuine reason to crucify Jesus. But the fact that those same people that are still known to have been the Pharisees, so they crucified him because they didn't like his energy. They didn't like his frequency. He was at a frequency that they couldn't understand. So Jesus was gang stalked, and there would be people running all over the place checking what he was doing, and they would come, and I think they would send those people to come and mix in the crowds, mingle with the crowds, so that they could know what he was saying and what he was preaching. But that is because he was energetically at a frequency that was actually very disturbing for them. So for a lot of people who was in that time, they had some different names. It's just because the names that we know, the ones that we hear, they're not mentioned in the Bible, but there was a name. You see, when you're a chosen one, it is not possible. Your friends are going to have a name for you. Little monkey, baboon, little candy something, this. They're going to call you a name, but that name always is going to have some significance. There will be something that is significant about that name that they will want to call you. It is a name that is meant to make you feel small, because they cannot accept your frequency, so they're going to find something to make you feel smaller. So you get a pet name. If it's society, for example, in the community where you are, they may take it to the next level. You may have a frequency that people don't understand. They only understand the things they learned in school, maybe they read in books. So what they do now, when they hear you talk about something, they may now start telling you things like, you're schizophrenic. That one is autistic, because these kids that are in class, you're not like them. You have a different way of understanding things and a different way. Your perspective is completely different. And the ones that are teaching you don't understand this. It is something they didn't learn. They wasn't taught to teach. So they don't know what to call you. So now they're going to go around and do a little bit of research. And now they will find something in the book that can describe you so that they can become comfortable. Some of you guys have been called to be, have been known to be, that one is bipolar. These are names, but that's not who you are. They are names that can describe you in the books according to what they taught, but that is not exactly who you are. You are something completely different. You are someone on a very different frequency. Chosen ones, you need to understand something. The only way people can rest when it comes to you is when they finally know a name they can call you. You see, your energy is very disturbing at the same time because people, they're like, you're around them, they're trying to understand you. There's things you're saying, there's the way you move, things you're doing. They cannot figure you out. They are struggling with so many, it's like your presence alone is making people's heads spin. Your presence alone is making people's head spin. They're getting headaches. Not because you are doing anything funny or you are the loudest man in the room. No. Your presence alone. Me now, I'm starting to understand. There's a lot of chosen ones I've been running into from a very young age. And I would see something very unique, not in a way that it was scary or it was whatever. But now I'm starting to understand that those individuals at the time those were the chosen ones. The individuals that everybody labeled crazy and stupid and weird. There are something, everybody will have a different name for you. Now I'm starting to see those individuals who was chosen. They was operating from a different frequency. So they wasn't really crazy like they was known to be at the time. They was just at a different frequency. Maybe they was tuned into a frequency that other people couldn't understand. And so it was the only way that people would call them that would make them feel comfortable. You see? A lot of times when people cannot define you, they will always create something that is going to make them happy. And the moment they find out the name they can call you, everybody is going to rest. So anytime when you're somebody tries to mention you, you're talking about that crazy guy. You're talking about that one, the witch. You're talking about the other one who does this and who does that. Because somebody somewhere came up with a definition of what they think you are, who they think you are, what they think you are. So people, they create these names. People, they create these names and versions of you that would make them feel at ease. Because you see, once they have a final name for you, that one, don't worry about that one is a witch. The whole town is going to know that you're a witch. That one is bipolar. The whole town will know you're bipolar. Some of them, like immediate friends who don't have those psychological scientific names, they're going to find something. Little monkey, little weirdo, little this and little that. It is always something that is going to make you little. Because you see, the matrix wants you to play small. Is why I've told you that even when they are calling you those names, they will say it with a tone that will make it feel like they're belittling you. So they want you to continue playing small. That is how they're able to move forward, because when they finally know what to call you, they cannot go ahead and live their lives because they found a name for you. So it's why you see sometimes, whenever you have a whatever situationship with these toxic people, you're always going to hear so many things about you. Oh, you know what? Your ex was here. They told us that you are like this. Your ex was there. They told us this. People are going to be calling you names you've never heard of. Even sometimes people are going to say things you have no idea of, you have never done. Because everybody wants to have a version of you that can make them comfortable. But ladies and gentlemen, when you know who you are, you have no point to prove. In other words, what I'm trying to say, when you hear a lot of these things in the corridors, different types of things going on, names and what, there's nothing to prove. No, you don't need to defend yourself. Let them call you who they want to call you until you finally have a label for yourself. When you finally know who you are, there's no need and there's no possibility that everybody else will describe you because you already know who you are. So on this journey, all I'm trying to say, you're always going to remember. One day you'll wake up and you'll remember who you are, and then you'll understand the reason why people used to call you a certain way, why many people thought you was crazy, why some other people thought you were stupid. You was never stupid, ladies and gentlemen. You was never crazy. You have never been a witch. That so-called disorder they thought you had, it was simply spiritual. But because you was in an environment where people couldn't understand these things, so they had to create something that they can hang on, they can cling on, they can cling to, you know. That's why they came out with all those names about you. But it was nothing to do with you. So it's a motivation video, it's not personal. Ladies and gentlemen, you always have to understand it's not personal. When people cannot know what to call you or how to define you, they're always going to find something they can make them happy. And it has got nothing to do with you, it's not personal. You cannot change how people feel, think, or feel about you. So let us know what you think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will see you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.